Hi, everyone. Anne O'Connell with OC Publishing here, and happy Author Journey Day. It's always one of my favorite days of the month. We're going live twice a month now with the Author Journey, usually the second and last Tuesday of the month, but keep an eye on the website and we'll keep you up to date on when we're going to be bringing you our author journey. Today, because this month, February, is I Love to Read month, I thought it would be fun to celebrate readers and reviewers, because where would we be without readers and reviewers? Authors are wonderful. They do an awful lot of work, but we wouldn't be anywhere without readers. So today, I'm very excited to have with me Sue Slade from the Dartmouth Book Exchange. The Dartmouth Book Exchange is so supportive of local authors. They do so much for readers. And so I'm going to let Sue talk a little bit about the history of the Book Exchange and what they do. And we also have Lana Shoup, who is an author. Her first book's coming out very soon. I'll let her tell you about that. And a very prolific reviewer. So very excited. We're going to bring both of them up here to join me. There you are.
Hi, everyone.
Ladies. Hi. I'm going to put us side by side just for a minute. So there we go. So welcome to the author journey. And I'm greeting you. And actually, Sue is here as well in Nova Scotia. It's a very, very blustery and cold and icy day. So we're crossing our fingers we don't lose our power. But you know what the weather's like here, Lana, don't you?
I do. I remember.
How long ago was it that you lived here?
We've been here 16 years.
And you're coming to us from Calgary, right?
I am.
Oh, my goodness. And it can be a little bit even colder there, can't it?
Yes, we have had some very cold days here.
Well, it's the winter. What can we expect, right? And Sue, thank you for joining us as well.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's good to see you both. So I want to jump right in. And the first thing I want to talk about is why it's important for readers to do reviews. So who wants to jump in and just sort of...
Okay, I guess I can. I'm not really going to jump, but it's very important for, an author spends a lot of time writing a book, and then we blow through it in a couple days. So, we're saying thank you for writing this book. And just like you would tip at a restaurant, you're thanking your chef, you're thanking your author. So you write a review. These reviews get seen by other people. And people go, I want to read that book. So, that's it gets shown on social media, websites, blogs, and things like that. And it's very important to promote your favorite authors and tell people why you liked that book. And, other people will too, pick it up.
And where is it that when you do a review for a book, where does it generally get posted?
I post mine on Goodreads, Amazon, Google also has reviews. Then if it was a really super book, I may even do a blog on it on our website, Dartmouth Book Exchange's website. So, and then I share those reviews on Facebook, Twitter, so that they get shared around. And yeah.
And what about you, Lana?
So for me, it was a real, we moved to Alberta, and it seemed like Albertans didn't know anything about the maritime publishing. They knew nothing about maritime authors. Then I worked at Chapters for a bit, and we had so few Atlantic Canadian books, and there are a ton of maritimers in Alberta. There are a ton. I meet them everywhere, on every street corner. And so I thought, okay, how can I promote Atlantic Canadian publishers, Atlantic Canadian authors? I know that there's so many great books out there. So started a review blog kind of thing on Facebook, and it kind of took off, and I got some followers, and that was great. And then through Chapters, I did some reviews, and that was great. We got some more Atlantic Canadian books in the store, and and then just Facebook and Goodreads. And then through that, I met Sue, online Sue, and I met Anne Louise online, and I met all the authors and got all this great feedback. And it reiterated to me the fact that, we need to do these reviews. We need to, like exactly what Sue said, these authors spend their time in their, quiet, lonely spaces plugging away. And they need that reassurance that they're doing a great job, that people are getting their stories, that they're being heard. And it's just taken off from there. And it's been important for me to keep reviewing books and to encourage people to review books. I belong to some book clubs, and I keep telling people, if you love the book, review it. Even if you just go on Goodreads and hit that star, like whatever, even if it's a 3-star, it doesn't necessarily have to be a 5-star, but it just, give them some feedback. If you really like an author, search them out on Instagram, search them out on Facebook, give them a thumbs up, or a hi, how you doing? And it really makes a difference.
It increases visibility.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I think you bring up a really good point, Lana, because a lot of people, shy away from doing reviews because they're like, oh, I don't have time to write about, what I've read, or
I can't write.
I can't write.
Yeah.
So what do you advise somebody who's just a little bit hesitant?
Well, and once again, like I said, just even if it's only I really enjoyed this book, or I was up late last night, or I was up past my bedtime last night reading this book because it was so great. Or if you like whatever book, you will love this one because it's, the same kind of story and it's whatever, or talk up the plot, talk up the characters, or, like my favorite book of all time is Anne of Green Gables. So I tell everybody, you have to read Anne of Green Gables. So that same thing. If you love an author,
there's no requirement for a huge, long, dissertation or, paragraphs about, the in-depth analysis or metaphors and
right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Even if you just say that I love this so much, I'm going to look for her other books or his other books and read all of them now, that type of thing.
And do you get feedback from authors when you post reviews?
I almost always do, a definite thank you. And I find almost every author, it's not just, particular to Atlantic Canada. It's any author that you give a shout out to, they respond back. And it gives you that relationship. It gives you that one more layer to reading that person's story.
And you've also started a book club, Sue, haven't you?
Yes. We started actually a year ago. If we go with the pandemic, a year ago, our restrictions were just loosening like they are going to next week. And we started it in February. So it's usually the third Wednesday of the month. And it's a little bit different than other book clubs.
I was going to say, what's special about the book club at the Dartmouth Book Exchange?
Well, you bring a book that's locally authored, and we consider local within the Atlantic bubble. And so everybody brings their own book that they want to part with. And they come and they talk about their book. They tell people why they would like to read it. They convince people this was about this, and this is why you're going to like it. And then I turn around and say, that's a review right there.
Right.
And then I have this basket, and we put all our books in the basket. And then at the end of the night, or at the end of the book club meeting, you can pick out a book you would like to read out of it, and then go home and read it yourself. So it's not everybody's doing the same book. They're all different. And we started out small, 4 or 5 people on average. And then before Christmas, we were up to 8 and 9 people, which was really wonderful.
That's awesome. And the other exciting thing, isn't it wonderful? The other exciting thing about the Dartmouth Book Exchange local author book club is sometimes the author even visits too. I was very, very honored to have the opportunity to talk about my books at the Dartmouth Book Exchange local author book club at one point. There are times that I forget that I'm an author because I'm so busy being a publisher. So it's nice to every once in a while switch that hat. I was saying, the other day that for me, I have to wear either one hat or the other. It's like going from a top hat to a beret. So for me, I need to like to focus. Wanted to just shout out to all the folks that are watching. If you have questions for Sue or Lana about book reviews, or they have any recommendations. Lana was talking about Anne of Green Gables, which is my favorite. Carrie, hi Carrie out there. Carrie says it truly means so much to read a review. And Bruce Bishop, hi Bruce, thanks for joining us. Says thank you ladies for both having reviewed my debut novel, Unconventional Daughters.
Hi, Bruce.
And he has a question. What happens when a novel you read doesn't meet your expectations? Do you decide not to write the review at all? Very, very good question. Thanks, Bruce.
So I made a pact with myself when I started my Facebook page for Atlantic Book Reviews, and I said that I would not review any book that I didn't feel a connection with, or that I felt that I could promote, or that just didn't resonate with me. And what I have done is, if there is a book like that, and thankfully it hasn't happened too often with me, because I can always find something positive about the book, and so I feel I can talk that up in a review kind of way. But if the book absolutely does not, I cannot see my way clear to say anything positive, then I may, I have had authors say, you didn't review my book, and then, so they've contacted me directly. So I've had a private conversation with them about what it was for me. And I also believe that everything is subjective. So a book that Anne Louise and Sue might like, I wouldn't like. So, and I always remind them of that if it happens to be a book that doesn't resonate with me. And I also, I make that caveat every time I recommend a book too. This was why I liked it. Give it a shot, see if it resonates with you, see if you like it, and then go from there. So to answer Bruce's question in a roundabout way, I do not post negative reviews. I don't think that serves any purpose whatsoever. I just don't see that. And that's not the kind of reviewer I want to be. I want to be a positive influence for whoever I review. So that's the answer for me.
Sue, how about you?
Same.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't review very often. And it's hard. Sometimes I feel I need to maintain my objectivity a little bit. And of course I can't review the books that I publish, because I'm biased, of course. But I'm the same. I feel the same way. If I can't give, a 4 or 5 star, honestly, then, I would rather, like you said, leave the reviews to somebody who really loved the book. So I just, and Lana, tell us a little bit about what's coming up for you. I'm so excited. So you're graduating from reader reviewer.
Well, I'll never leave that behind, because I'll always be a reader. Yeah, always a reader.
I think it's an equal, level of importance for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to be an author, you need to be a reader. So I still feel very strange calling myself an author, I have to say. So in July, Nimbus is publishing my first picture book, which is called The Lonely Little Lighthouse. And it's about the lighthouse in Shelburne, Nova Scotia, which is where I grew up. And it was really, it's my love letter to that community. My father was killed in the Canadian Army when I was 4. And my mom took my brother and I to Shelburne to grow up there so that we would know him through the people that, knew him, and his family was there. And she made a big sacrifice to do that. So this community kind of helped raise me. There are people there that knew him and knew my mom and, knew me as a kid. Whether that's good for them or bad, I don't know. But anyway, and the lighthouse, like the lighthouses in Nova Scotia, was in danger of being just left to
rot.
Go away. So to rot. And the community got together and saved it. So this is the story of the community that saved this lighthouse. And it's a beautiful place now. Absolutely beautiful. So that's my story. And I am over the moon excited because I've been invited to read by the sea.
Yay! Yay! Oops.
the festival in River John, at Sherry Fitch's Mabel Merples. We'll be doing wordplay on July 1st, and let's fingers crossed that we get to do it in person. So
Speaking of love of readers, my goodness, go out to
yeah,
Mabel
Sherry.
Merples this
Oh,
summer. Oh, if you
oh,
can.
oh,
What a
go to Mabel
wonderful
Merples.
spot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's so much fun. I
It's
mean,
just
you
so
just
much
get
fun.
lost in it and visit the
You do.
animals and
Yeah.
have a picnic and read by the sea is an amazing event.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting.
And
I can't
another, oh,
ahead.
sorry, go ahead,
I was just going
Annalise.
to say, I can't wait to see your book. I've loved the promos. Of course, having grown up in Nova Scotia myself, just the lighthouse is just such a beacon
It is.
of just it's the heart and soul. And I love the premise of the story, and I can't wait to read it.
Thank
Of course,
you.
I'm a lover of children's books. Lover, publisher. I was a preschool teacher in a previous life, so I love reading children's books. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anne and I have the same degree, by the way.
Early childhood education. Yes. Yeah. That's where I started. I've graduated from the Mount St. Vincent University.
Yep.
and
I've only graduated from there once, but once was enough.
second time was PR. I took quite a dog leg curve. But so Sue, tell us a little bit more about what Dartmouth Book Exchange is.
It's a used bookstore, and now we have a large actually collection of locally authored books.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new thing for us since the pandemic started. Before the pandemic, we might have had 3 or 4 of books that we had authors come in and do events at our store, and then we would carry a few of their books. But with the pandemic shutting everything down, all our events were canceled. So we started carrying, a larger selection and then a larger selection, and kept on going. And then we started in July, that would be 2020, doing spotlights. An author came in, her name's C.P. Daly, came in and donated a couple of her brand new books that she had just published. And it was her debut book. And I'm going, we got to do something.
Yeah.
Giving us these really nice books, brand new books. So, I read the book, and we promoted them on our Facebook page and Twitter page for the week. And then we did a draw at the end of the week and gave away her book.
Mm-hmm.
And so that sort of caught on. We've been doing those ever since, every week. I mean, we're booked right till May.
Wow. And I just want to tell everybody, if you're looking for examples of like social media expertise, just follow Sue, watch Dartmouth Book Exchange, and the amazing support that you and Amy and the team at Dartmouth Book Exchange have for local authors is just incredible. But explain, so for the readers out there, how does that operate? Like if somebody brings books in to Dartmouth Book Exchange?
So, well, first off, you can bring in a bag a day of relatively recent books that are lightly, gently used, free of tears and that kind of stuff. Things that you want to, see in public with anyway. And we'll give you credit for them. We don't take in books on Fridays and Saturdays. It's just too busy for us. And half your purchase price of used books, you can use credit on. So if you're purchasing $20 in used books, you could use $10 in credit if you have it. You can't use book credits on new books.
Understandably, yes. And what is the address? I'm just going to type the address in the comments here. Tell us where the Dartmouth Book Exchange is.
1187 Cole Harbor Road.
And that's in Dartmouth?
Yes. We've been there for 21 years. It'll be 22 years come September. I've been there for 12. I just celebrated my 12-year anniversary this past Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yay. Happy anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yay.
I wouldn't have known that if Facebook didn't tell me. And I've been manager there for 6 years. So, half of it.
Well, congratulations.
Yes.
We have a question for Lana from Carrie Stanton. She says, Lana, do you feel your new book has your heart wrapped up within the story? And is this something that writers need in their stories?
My heart is 100% in this story. the lighthouse itself, the beach there holds my heart. It holds my memories. It holds my children's memories. And I think putting that definitely resonates with a reader if they
Mhm.
know that the author's heart is in it. And I think it's pretty evident, when you read something,
Mhm.
And I think all authors put their heart into whatever they write. Whatever the genre may be. So yes, to answer Carrie's question, my heart is this is my heart song to that community. This
Mhm.
little
Oh,
picture book.
oh,
Yeah,
it's so
I can't wait for
beautiful.
mine signed.
And would you like to tell us who the illustrator was? Because in a children's book, I mean, the illustrator, like,
It's
it's hand in
huge.
hand.
It's
Yeah.
huge. So the
Mhm.
illustrator is Marla Lesage, and she's in New Brunswick.
Mhm.
She has the first time I met Marla was I bought her book Pirate for a Day, and it
Oh,
is hilarious.
I
And once
love
again,
that book.
pirates, and I had no say in who the illustrator was. Nimbus picked out the illustrator, and I was so thrilled when I knew that it was her.
Yeah.
And so Marla is the illustrator, and it's just perfect. It's just
It's gorgeous.
yeah,
It's absolutely gorgeous.
it's so adorable.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I mean, you've obviously, what you want readers to get out of that is that just the heart and soul of it, and
the
it.
community, and what a community can do to save something. That you don't have to just stand by and let something happen to something that they love.
Mhm.
So, work together,
It's
community.
awesome.
It's
It's
all about it.
awesome.
Yeah.
So when you do the book clubs, Sue, what's the general outcome of reviews that have come from that?
I would say, you mean, see, they got a whole month to do it, right?
Yeah, okay.
So I would say, 3/4 to 80% of them
Good.
that get reviewed. I've
Hmm.
got a lot of promises for some, and but the ones that don't do the reviews, that's not because they don't want to. It's because they are very, very busy,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And I fully expect them to all of a sudden sit down one day and just go
And
and
it's going
just
to come out, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm behind a couple, aren't I?
Why do
It
you want to point fingers?
it
Sue sends
makes
you
me
little reminders.
it it makes me very sad that I can't come to the book club because I live too far away.
Yeah, it
But you're
makes us
moving here
sad
soon,
too.
aren't
I
you?
know. We're hoping to move there very soon.
Okay,
Soon,
well,
as in a
We're
year or
working
two.
on it. Yeah, within a year, maybe.
oh,
Yeah,
fingers
yeah.
crossed.
Fingers
Well, and
crossed.
I also wanted to share that Lana does reviews for Miramichi Reader as well. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Which is a hugely well respected in literary circles. It's like
Absolutely.
the review to get almost. It's like the New York Times review
Yeah.
of the Maritimes, right?
Yeah. And they have a podcast now. I don't know if you knew that, but they do.
I
They have a
just saw
podcast.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just saw that. So, how did you start writing for Miramichi?
That was another thing, one of those things that just seems to happen. So James Fisher, who is the man behind this amazing review,
Hmm.
he saw some of my reviews and asked me if I would want to do some for the Miramichi Reader, and I said that would be great. That would be
That's
amazing. So yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Well, if you guys have any like final advice to people who want to do either reviews as individuals or maybe jump into the fray and start reviewing books, maybe on YouTube as a booktuber or starting a blog, what would your advice be? A blog or a podcast, or whether it's Amazon, Goodreads, or setting up your own um, website with a blog. What would you suggest?
I suggest just do it. Just start, and choose one. Don't overwhelm yourself. So if Goodreads is somewhere where you're comfortable,
Mhm.
saying putting your star on a book, or if you use Goodreads to keep track of your books, then use Goodreads. If Facebook is something that whatever you're comfortable with, just start. Just post a picture of the latest book that you've read, give a little 2-line thing, maybe give it a thumbs up or, a star or however you want to rate it, and go from there. And you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at the feedback that you get. And the more feedback you get, the more anxious you are to give another, and people will ask you for recommendations, and that, starts everything going. So my bottom line, my advice is just do it.
Just do it.
Do it. Yeah. Don't worry about, is someone going to like my review, or is someone, it's your review, own it, just do it.
When the pandemic started, and everything got shut down, I made it a personal goal to read and review one book a week, one locally authored book a week for the year. And just a second, I got it written down here. So from March to the end of the year, that 2020, I read and reviewed 86 locally authored books.
Amazing.
For 2021, I read.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It was 86 for last year. It was 49 the very first year.
Wow.
And it just, you get,
You get excited.
yeah, you do.
Yes.
And then you see other people. I read that book.
Yeah.
With your recommendation, and didn't you love this part? and then you got something in common with people you don't even know.
That's
Exactly.
fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, you guys, it's hard to believe that we're just about out of time, but I just want to make sure that if anybody wants to learn more about the Dartmouth Book Exchange, they can visit Dartmouth Book Exchange. I'm going to bring that up again. DartmouthBookExchange.ca. Follow on Facebook, facebook.com/Dartmouth Book Exchange, and on Twitter.
And you can
Twitter.com.
subscribe to our blog on our website.
Subscribe to the blog on the website. Visit Dartmouth Book Exchange. But if you're not local, still follow them on Facebook and follow Sue's reviews and learn more about what's going on here in the Maritimes. And for Lana, the best way to reach you is on your website, correct?
Yeah. And on Facebook.
Okay, so if people want to follow you on social media, will they find all of that through your website? Okay, link from the website. Excellent. Well, you guys, it's such a pleasure to have you on the author journey today, and I'm so looking forward to this.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll maybe have you back after The Lonely Little Lighthouse is published. Won't that be fun?
That would be so much fun.
I can do a review.
Yay! And hopefully we'll all be able to head to Read by the Sea. What's the date of that, Lana?
It's the weekend of July, so July 1st.
The first weekend of July. Yeah. Okay, so
there hasn't been one in person since you and I went in.
Since 2019.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember we went for the purple little frog there?
We went for the
Yes. Well, we'll all be like exploding out of our houses. This summer's going to be wild, isn't it?
And even if you don't go to Read by the Sea, go to River John and visit Maple Myrtles, because you will not be disappointed.
You'll love it.
We make a point of going at least twice, if not 3 times a summer. Yeah.
Once again, I'm very jealous because I can't go.
It is a magical place.
It is a magical place.
You'll just have to come and visit.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you,
Anne-Louise. Talk a little bit about our book club coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun, and just
bye everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Bye, Lana.
Bye, Anne-Marie.
Bye, Anne.
Well, what a wonderful time to talk about reviewing, book reviews, our love of readers. But I also wanted to say for today, for everybody that watched and commented, or if you're watching on a replay on Facebook or YouTube, I'm going to be giving away copies of the books that we're going to be featuring on the new OC Pub Book Club. We're going to have our first book club meeting this month. I'm very excited. The meeting will be on February 24th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Atlantic. If you haven't signed up for the book club and you're interested, just go to www.ocpublishing.ca. Here's the Here we go. And sign up on the very front page. There's a sign up link. So the first book we'll be featuring this month is The Healing by Linda Faye Schmidt. And it's a women's fiction family drama. And I am going to be giving away a copy of this for anybody who's commented today, or we're going to go put him in the draw, and anybody who watches the replay between now and Friday. So go ahead, make your comments, and I'll do a draw on Friday for The Healing, as well as next month,
Is that
March
bodacious?
31st, which is
I was going to say this is not
on the last Thursday of the month. We are going to be doing By the Light of the Crescent Moon by Elsa Kepi, which was just reviewed this week by the Miramichi Reader, and highly recommended. I'm very excited. Copy of The Healing and By the Light of the Crescent Moon, our next two features in the OC Pub Book Club. So get your comments in there, and hope to see you in the club. Join at www.ocpublishing.ca. And that's it for us today. Happy reading. Thank you so much for joining us. It is I Love to Read month. And probably for those of you who are watching, I Love to Read is every month and every day. But for now, I'm saying goodbye, and we'll see you next time on the author journey. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye for now.